Magic, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul, all the Laker greats, I would always sit down and just ask them questions about certain games that I studied growing up. What actually happened there? What did you feel there? Why?
Kobe Bryant's career was defined by his relentless drive to master the game. Praise from him was rare, reserved only for those who earned his admiration through skill, toughness, or influence. Across 2 decades in the NBA, he revealed a small group of players who shaped his vision of basketball. From legends he studied to rivals who tested him on the court, their games provided the blueprint for how Kobe prepared, competed, and eventually became one of the sport's most complete stars. Before his passing at 41, these were the 7 players he singled out as his favorites. The list can't start with any other name than Michael Jordan.
His technique was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
Kobe Bryant often said, "Everything you see me do, I got from him." When speaking about Michael Jordan, he treated Jordan's game like a textbook, studying VHS tapes in detail and copying pivots, jab steps, fadeaways, and even body language. For Kobe, every move was worth breaking down and replicating. By the mid-1980s, Jordan had already built the reputation Kobe would later chase. He entered the league in 1984 and averaged 28 points per game across his first 3 seasons, including a scoring title in 1987 at 37 points per game. He led the league in steals 3 times during that span, pairing his offense with constant defensive pressure. Between 1989 and 1993, Jordan's all-around production grew as he averaged roughly 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists while carrying Chicago deep into the postseason. His peak arrived with 3 consecutive titles from 1991 to 1993, capped by Finals MVPs each year. When Kobe arrived in the NBA in 1996, Jordan had already defined dominance at both ends of the floor. That record became the standard Kobe measured himself against for the rest of his career. By Kobe's second season, he was already leaning on Michael Jordan as a guide. He began calling and texting Jordan to ask about footwork, post angles, and how to assert leadership within a roster full of veterans. Jordan, still the game's premier star, responded with detailed advice that Kobe worked to apply immediately.
Because it's one thing in watching him play, and then it's another thing in playing against him.
Their first official matchup came on December 17, 1996. Kobe, just 18 years old, scored 30 points and grabbed 9 rebounds in 37 minutes off the bench. Jordan led the Bulls with 36 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in a win that highlighted both the established king and the teenager trying to reach his level. Kobe later admitted he studied that game repeatedly, frame by frame, to see where Jordan gained advantages. The mentorship became more public during the 1998 All-Star Game at Madison Square Garden. Kobe, at 19, became the youngest starter in the event's history and scored 18 points in 22 minutes. Jordan delivered 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists to secure the MVP trophy. Beyond the numbers, that game illustrated the balance between Kobe's eagerness to test himself and Jordan's willingness to answer every challenge while quietly passing on lessons. Kobe never shied away from acknowledging how deeply Jordan influenced his career. He often said his 5 championships would not have been possible without the lessons Jordan passed on, from footwork details to managing the demands of leadership. Statistically, comparisons became inevitable. Jordan retired with career averages of 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, while Kobe posted 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Both were celebrated for their efficiency in the mid-post, relying on jab steps, fades, and footwork that mirrored one another. Fans and experts alike often described Kobe as the next Jordan, a label Kobe accepted because he knew how much of his own approach came directly from studying Jordan's tape. The two even shared defensive accolades, each earning multiple all-defensive first-team selections across their primes. Beyond the box scores, Jordan's presence defined Kobe's mindset. He used Jordan as a reference point for preparation, for how to sustain focus over long seasons, and for the relentless will needed to dominate playoff series. For Kobe, Jordan was not simply a rival or a legend to admire. He was the model for how greatness looked in its purest form. Setting a benchmark Kobe spent 2 decades trying to reach and, in moments, matching. Now that we got Jordan out of the way, let's talk about Jordan before Jordan. And that's Julius Erving, known better by his iconic nickname, Dr. J.
Dr. J was the single most vibrant, exciting, dynamic player I ever played against.
Kobe's early basketball memories in Philadelphia were shaped by Julius Erving, who was still the city's defining star when Kobe was a child. By the time Erving retired in 1987, he had already built a resume that included 11 All-Star appearances, 4 MVP awards across the ABA and NBA, and the 1983 championship with the 76ers. What stood out most to young Kobe was Irving's enormous hands. Nearly a foot long from fingertip to palm, Kobe once admitted, "I wish I had his hands. He could just pick up the ball, go and do so many creative things." That control gave Irving freedom to dunk, cradle, and improvise in ways few players ever could. Kobe studied those moves on tape, especially the iconic reverse layup in the 1980 finals against the Lakers and Irving's free-flowing dunk contest routines in the ABA. For Kobe, those highlights weren't just entertainment. They were lessons in how flair could coexist with dominance. Watching Irving showed him that the sport could be both effective and artistic, a concept he would carry into his own career. By the time he began to dream seriously of the NBA, Dr. J's creativity was already embedded in his vision of how the game could be played.
Dr. J, to me, was the NBA. I just remember him dunking on everybody.
Irving's influence on Kobe extended beyond admiration. Kobe studied how Dr. J used his hang time, angles, and large hands to finish plays that looked impossible. Those elements became part of Kobe's own approach, where dunks and layups carried style as well as precision. The 1997 slam dunk contest, which Kobe won as a rookie, was filled with nods to Irving's creativity. In games, Kobe experimented with reverses, twisting layups, and improvisational finishes that echoed Dr. J's artistry. Irving showed him that fans could be captivated not only by efficiency but by imagination on the court. Kobe took that lesson seriously, building a career that combined scoring with spectacle. His mid-air adjustments, often finished with one hand, became a trademark. He credited Irving with teaching him that basketball could inspire through creativity as much as through dominance. Kobe often grouped Julius Erving with Jordan when he was asked about the players who shaped his basketball imagination. Irving's resume carried weight: 3 championships between the ABA and NBA, 4 MVP awards, and 16 total All-Star selections across both leagues. More than accolades, it was his role as a bridge between eras that spoke to Kobe. Irving brought the flair of the ABA into the structure of the NBA, proving that creativity and winning could coexist. In 2003, when the NBA honored Irving among the 50 greatest players of all time, Kobe referred to him as someone who made the sport beautiful. Now, let's move over to the West Coast and talk about one of the best Lakers players of all time, Erwin "Magic" Johnson.
He's a superstar and a good guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kobe Bryant.
Kobe often pointed to Magic as one of the players he studied most, though not for scoring moves. What stood out to him was how Magic controlled games through leadership and vision. In the 1980 seconds, Magic defined the Lakers with the Showtime era, guiding them to 5 championships and 3 MVP awards. He averaged 11 assists for his career, ran fast breaks with precision, and elevated teammates with his passing and presence. For Kobe, who built his game on footwork and scoring, Magic represented another kind of dominance. He showed that a player could dictate tempo and create order on the floor without piling up points. That lesson stayed with Kobe as he grew from a teenage prodigy into the centerpiece of the Lakers, reminding him that carrying a franchise went beyond scoring totals and required a larger command of the game.
Your idol growing up was Magic Johnson, a guy you admired greatly.
Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant were bound by their shared identity as lifelong Lakers. Magic's 13 years with the team set the standard for the franchise in the 1980 seconds, while Kobe's 20 seasons made him the next great figure to carry that tradition. When Kobe arrived in 1996, Magic had recently stepped away for the final time, and questions quickly surfaced about whether a teenager could live up to the weight of that history. Over time, each championship Kobe won added to the foundation Magic had created, linking their legacies in a way few franchises can claim. By the time Kobe secured his 5th title in 2010, he had matched Magic's own total, and comparisons became part of every conversation about the Lakers' lineage. Magic openly embraced the connection, praising Kobe as the player who defined his generation and ensured the Lakers remained central to NBA history. Kobe often pointed to Magic Johnson as an example of how to lead a franchise. Their playing styles were very different, yet both had the same belief that a single player's drive could shape the outcome of games and seasons. Magic's passing and ability to elevate teammates became a model for Kobe as he grew into a veteran leader. By the late 2000s, Kobe was no longer just a scorer. He was mentoring younger players and speaking about carrying forward the responsibility of the Lakers' tradition. Including Magic among his favorites linked Kobe to the franchise's greatest figures, from West and Kareem to Magic himself, and showed that he saw his own career as part of that same continuum. Surprisingly, Magic's biggest rival, Larry Bird, is also one of Kobe's favorites too.
a different generation. You guys probably never even seen Larry Bird play, which is...
Kobe grew up studying the battles between Bird Celtics and the Lakers of Magic and Kareem, which left a strong impression on him as a kid. Bird was not the fastest or the most athletic player on the floor, yet he consistently produced against the very teams Kobe admired most. In 22 regular season games against the Lakers, Bird averaged over 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. On the bigger stage, he raised his level even further, averaging 25 points and 11 rebounds in 19 playoff games against Los Angeles. Across his career, Bird maintained averages of 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists while shooting 50% from the field and nearly 90% from the free throw line. Kobe respected how Bird used footwork, positioning, and touch to control games, and he often pointed to Bird's bank shots, mid-range jumpers, and clutch scoring as proof of his basketball intelligence. Kobe loved Bird for the way he used his mind to win battles before the ball was even tipped. Bird's trash talk was legendary, whether it was telling defenders exactly where he would shoot from or taunting them after making the same shot in their face. Kobe related to that edge, recognizing how Bird imposed pressure mentally as much as physically. What stood out most to Kobe was Bird's ability to deliver when games were on the line. In the 1984 finals against the Lakers, Bird averaged roughly 27 points and 14 rebounds, earning finals MVP and helping Boston win the title. Kobe saw that level of poise and consistency as a blueprint for performing under playoff tension. Bird's duels with the Pistons and repeat clashes with Los Angeles showed that toughness came from preparation and composure, lessons Kobe carried into his own career. Although he's an all-time Celtic, it's not a surprise why Kobe put Larry as one of his favorite players. Larry Bird's resume speaks for itself. 12 All-Star selections, 3 championships, and 3 MVP awards across the 1982s. For Kobe, those numbers reflected more than personal success. They represented sustained dominance in an era filled with elite competition. Bird forced defenses into constant adjustments. Teams had to respect his mid-post footwork, guard his jumper from 17 to 22 feet, and fight him on the glass where he consistently pulled down over 10 rebounds per game. Kobe absorbed many of these fundamentals into his own approach, valuing efficiency and detail as much as athletic gifts.
Kobe is one of the toughest human beings I've ever seen.
Larry once called Kobe Bryant one of the toughest ever, highlighting the mutual respect between two players who valued competitive fire above all. To Kobe, Bird proved that a player could rely on skill, IQ, and consistency to stay at the top for years, a lesson that shaped his own longevity and focus. From Boston, back to Los Angeles. Let's talk about Jerry West.
Few in the game knew Kobe better as a player and as a person.
In 1996, Jerry West was the general manager of the Lakers, and his vision changed the course of the franchise. He scouted Kobe Bryant extensively, watching him at Lower Merion High School and at the Adidas camp where Kobe faced top prospects. The private pre-draft workout in Los Angeles, with former Laker Michael Cooper guarding him, convinced West immediately. He later said it was the best pre-draft workout he had ever seen.
We honestly felt that he was the #1 player taken in their draft.
On draft night, the Charlotte Hornets selected Kobe with the 13th pick, but the Lakers had already arranged to acquire his rights in exchange for veteran center Vlade Divac. Though Divac briefly considered retiring rather than accept the trade, the deal was finalized in July. The move cleared the cap space West needed to sign Shaquille O'Neal weeks later. Kobe often credited West's belief in him as vital motivation during his rocky rookie season as a teenager. Jerry West's playing career from 1960 to 1974 gave Kobe a living blueprint of what greatness in a Lakers uniform looked like. West averaged 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists over 14 seasons, earned 14 All-Star selections, and made 10 All-NBA first teams. His reputation as Mr. Clutch came from his late-game shooting, elite conditioning, and ability to defend and score at the highest level. Kobe studied that film closely, learning how West controlled pace, used precise pull-ups, and chose his spots in critical moments. Their relationship deepened when Kobe entered his prime alongside Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe once asked West how to maintain high scoring next to a dominant big man. West's advice was simple but sharp. Save energy for the second and fourth quarters, use film to find openings, and cut wasted movement. Kobe applied those lessons, shaping the efficiency and structure that defined his peak scoring years.
I really felt like that I was kind of a surrogate father to him. I did.
Jerry West's influence on Kobe went beyond scouting and trades. He orchestrated the framework that shaped Kobe's career. The draft night deal for his rights, the cap space that allowed Shaquille O'Neal to sign, and the hiring of Phil Jackson in 1999. Kobe often acknowledged those moves as the foundation of his championship years. West stayed close, offering guidance after tough losses and praising Kobe's competitive habits. Their bond reflected shared values of perfectionism, preparation, and the demand to finish game. Both were one-franchise Lakers icons who carried the standard of excellence in different eras. Kobe summarized the connection simply. West gave him his shot in Los Angeles and remained a model for what leadership looked like. The next player on Kobe's list actually played against him for multiple years. Let's see why Kobe appreciated Hakeem Olajuwon so much. Kobe Bryant often mentioned Hakeem Olajuwon among the players he studied most. Olajuwon's resume spoke for itself: 2 NBA championships in 1994 and 1995, a league MVP in 1994, and 12 all-defensive team selections. More than accolades, he was renowned for unmatched post skill with the dream shake, spins and counters that created scoring angles even against elite defenders. Kobe appreciated that creativity and precision, calling Olajuwon's footwork the best he had ever seen. In 2009, he visited Houston to work directly with him, spending 5 hours on low post technique. Olajuwon later said Kobe was the quickest learner he had ever trained, praising how seamlessly he absorbed complex movements into his own arsenal. Kobe took Olajuwon's lessons and built them into a defining part of his mid-post game. The dream shake, baseline spins, and up and under fakes gave him ways to create space without needing elite athletic bursts. By the late 2000s, those moves became central to his scoring, especially as knee and finger injuries cut into his lift. Players who guarded Kobe often said that his post work looked more like a center's, with every pivot and counter executed at full precision. He openly called Olajuwon's footwork perfect, crediting it with extending his prime and allowing him to dominate even as his body wore down. The 2-0-1-0 finals against Boston provided a showcase, with Kobe using those pivots to beat taller wings and bigs. Olajuwon stood out to Kobe as proof that skill could outweigh size or athletic advantage. He often highlighted the idea that guards who mastered big man moves became nearly unguardable, and Hakeem was the clearest model of that. After working with Olajuwon in 2009, Kobe carried those lessons forward, later teaching the same footwork to players such as Carmelo Anthony and DeMar DeRozan. The techniques he learned in Houston shaped how he attacked defenders during his later years, when injuries had reduced his explosiveness. Their connection linked 2 generations. Olajuwon's dominance in the 1990 seconds echoed through Kobe's guard play in the 2000s, showing how refined footwork could redefine scoring across positions and eras. Let's finish things off with one of Kobe's biggest rivals, Tracy McGrady.
The guy that always gave me the most problems actually was Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady earned Kobe's respect because he combined size and guard skills in a way few players could match. At 6'8" with long arms and a quick handle, McGrady created space effortlessly, scoring from the perimeter or attacking the rim with equal ease. He captured back-to-back scoring titles in 2003 and 2004, averaging over 30 points during his peak in Orlando. Kobe admired how naturally McGrady's offense flowed, describing him as the most talented scorer he had to defend. Unlike many rivalries built on animosity, theirs was rooted in mutual recognition of skill and dedication. Both worked obsessively, and Kobe acknowledged McGrady as a peer whose game demanded his full attention every time they matched up.
Well, yeah, but he was freakishly more athletic and taller than I was.
Kobe Bryant and Tracy McGrady crossed paths 21 times in the regular season, and their battles often felt like showcases of skill. Kobe averaged 27 points in those games, while McGrady posted 18, but the numbers only tell part of the story. Their duel on November 27, 2002, in Orlando remains a classic. Kobe poured in 38 points with 10 rebounds, but McGrady matched him nearly shot for shot, finishing with 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in a magic win. 2 years later, in March 2004, McGrady again tested the Lakers, dropping 37 points, but Kobe responded with 38 of his own to lead Los Angeles to victory. Their head-to-head meetings became must-watch television in the early 2000s because both stars wanted to prove themselves directly against the other. McGrady's peak in Orlando, especially his 2002-03 season when he averaged 32 points, cemented why Kobe respected him so much. Kobe explained that guarding McGrady was not about lack of effort, but about recognizing that elite shot-making can beat even the best defense. Few contemporaries earned that level of acknowledgement from him.
He had all the skills and all the athleticism.
Even after injuries cut McGrady's prime short, Kobe kept referring to him as the toughest player he ever had to guard. That inclusion alongside legends like Jordan and Magic showed that Kobe valued not just past icons, but also rivals who pushed him in real time. McGrady's presence on Kobe's list underlined how much Kobe admired skill, artistry, and the challenge of matching up against greatness. Kobe Bryant's list of favorite players revealed the blueprint behind his game and his mindset. Each one left a mark on how Kobe approached basketball, blending their lessons into his own legacy. If you enjoyed this look into Kobe's basketball influences, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know which player you think shaped him the most.